What's up, YouTube? It's me, Evan, back with another video game collection video. This is the original Xbox. Now, I'm not a fan of Microsoft, the company. I'm not a fan of American games in general. I was a die-hard Japanese gamer. I loved all Japanese systems, all Japanese games. So when the Xbox was announced, it had a really crappy controller. I tried it out at kiosks and stores. It was big and bulky, tiny little chiclet, you know, tic-tac buttons. It was a horrible design. It claimed to be the most powerful, which it ended up was. It had the best graphics and all that, and like their big breakout title was a first-person shooter, Halo, which I also played at people's houses and in kiosks and did not enjoy it. Not a fan of the genre. So didn't need the system. What ended up happening was I was a member to this rewards membership to the store called Suncoast. They also had a store called Sam's Goody. And whenever you bought something, you'd get reward points. So I ended up buying so much expensive anime and video games for other systems back in the day, like GameCube and whatever, PS2, that I kept accumulating all these rewards points. And you'd get them in the mail, little certificates with a dollar amount, $20 here, $10 here, $30 there. And I got enough saved up, didn't expire for like a year. I had enough saved up, I could get an Xbox for free. So I was like, I might as well try it. Ended up getting it, and by the time I got it, it came with the smaller Japanese controller, the Japanese design, which I ended up liking the controller. Yeah, so I got it for free, figured why not just use my money on this. So you could use this was my DVD player, this is what I used. The remote, you had to plug in an extra slot, took up a controller slot. But that was a smart thing they did. They copied N64 and GameCube and added the 4-player slots, which was good. I ended up loving the system. So whenever there was third-party games that made games for every console on the market, for GameCube, PS2, it would look the best on here. And sometimes play the best. So whenever a third-party game came out, I would just get it for this. Another thing I loved about it, it has a hard drive on it, which the other systems did not. And you could save your music. So I would burn my CDs. I had a huge CD collection. I burned CDs to it. And you can use those songs in the games. You could have that in the background playing while you play the game instead of whatever soundtrack the game provided. So I really ended up enjoying the system a lot. They ended up copying the Dreamcast in a lot of ways. So you can kind of call this the Dreamcast 2. The controller design, almost exactly identical. They added extra dumb things here. They had the 4 slots, but instead of a VMU, you could add Rumble, or I think this is a memory card. And it was this, again, the Japanese controller design was much smaller, much more comfortable. Buttons on the sticks. D-pad was okay. Not bad, but ended up being an okay controller. Now on to the games. So I know this is an Xbox game, but I did a GameCube game video collection, and hopefully you'll check that video out first. And I missed this. For some reason, this was shuffled along in my Xbox games, but this is Simpsons Road Rage. I was a huge Simpsons fan. I love arcade racers. Absolutely love this game. Great graphics, great gameplay, great voice acting. Amazing game. Now on to the Xbox games. Okay, so I'm a huge comic book nerd, superhero fan since way back. And this right here is a Justice League RPG, action RPG. And this game had an amazing story. I loved it. It was like reading the comic book or watching an amazing animated adventure. And the more you play it, the more you can unlock different outfits. And the outfits, you could have different versions of the characters, like a different Green Lantern or a different Superman or different Zatanna. I absolutely love this game. Amazing boss fights, amazing story twist at the end, amazing ending. If anybody can get this game, of course, this is the best graphical version there is. That's why I got it on the Xbox. Definitely pick this game up. This is the last Batman adventure game I ever played in my life. So I missed out on the entire Arkham series because of this game. So this is a game called Batman Dark Tomorrow. Look at that. I wasted $40 on this piece of crap. I don't know who made it. Maybe them, whoever that is. This is a cautionary tale. Stay away. This game is unplayable. The graphics are horrible. The gameplay is horrible. It's like unfinished. There's certain things you can't do or see, or the camera angles are horrifying. So after I played this and wasted $40, I'm never playing a Batman solo game again. Adventure game. And I haven't. People keep telling me I'm stupid. They say the Arkham games are amazing, so maybe if there's an Arkham HD collection or something, I'll have to pick it up, but this turned me off to Batman games forever. Superman's my favorite hero of all time, so I try and pick up any Superman games I can. This was based off the Superman Returns video game, but it didn't follow, movie, but it did not follow the movie. And the movie sucked, by the way. This took things from the comic books, and you got to fly around the city, have your own adventure, fight comic book villains. It was actually a really good game. Superman Man of Steel was like an open world city Superman game. You fly around based off the comic books. Comic book villains at the time. This was actually a really good game too. I really enjoyed this. Gotta show Marvel some love too. Spider-Man 2, while I did not like the movie, this game is phenomenal. Open city, swinging, so much fun. This is the best version of it, obviously, because it's on Xbox. Loved it to death. Wolverine 2. I didn't see the movie when it came out. I think I ended up loving the movie once I seen it like a couple years ago. But I got this game because this did not follow any movie. This was like a comic book game, but they just advertised it as a movie game. So it was actually really fun. Really cool. Rated M, very violent. Loved it. And then we got the Incredible Hulk, one of my favorite Marvel characters. This one's based off the Eric Bana movie, Ang Lee. It was okay. Wasn't bad. Wasn't good. Just okay. But this one's based off the comic books. As you can see, 8.9 out of 10. I'd agree with that. This is an amazing game. Ultimate destruction. You got to destroy any building in the city. You roam around. You're really strong. Unlock new moves. Graphics were good for the time. Really fun game. Now on to some Capcom love. Onimusha was one of my favorite games of all time. It came out on the PS2. So this is a graphical upgrade. Also, they made it harder, added new modes and weapons and stuff like that. Loved it. Played it to death. Great game. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Probably my all-time favorite fighting game. Had to get it for Xbox. I refused to get it on PS2 because it doesn't do the game justice. I know it's a horrible port, but this was a decent port. So I had fun playing this. You could also play it online, but I never did. And then just about every system I own, I gotta have Street Fighter 2 on it. I love Capcom's old arcade games. These are collections. Got 20 games each, I think. Lots of old school games. Arcade only. Really good collections. Now on to the fighting games. This I played in the arcade a lot. SNK versus Capcom Chaos. SVC Chaos for short. This was made by SNK. While not as good as Capcom vs. SNK 2, I feel it was better than Capcom vs. SNK 1. And I really liked that Dimitri was in here. Terry Bogard and Bloody Ken, Violent Ken, whatever his name was a very cool addition. Terry Bogard was so powerful in here. It was very easy to beat with the game with him. There was lots of hidden bosses you could fight, like Firebrand and Athena and stuff like that. It was a great game. Samurai Showdown V. I love the Samurai Showdown series. Had to get this. It's a pretty good game. I loved Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast, so I decided to get Soul Calibur 2. This one came with Spawn on it. I didn't like this game too much. It didn't do it for me like the Dreamcast version did. Got the Dead or Alive 3, Dead or Alive Ultimate. This came with Dead or Alive 1, the Saturn port, which was the best version. And Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate. This is a better version of the Dreamcast game. And Dead or Alive 3. Love these games, obviously, because of the bouncing physics. And if Evan has a video game system, it's got to have a Godzilla game. So here we go. Godzilla Save the Earth. It's a sequel to the Melee I had on GameCube. Huge graphical upgrade, same gameplay, a lot of fun. Loved it to death. Next is some racing games. I love arcade racers, and Midway came out with a bundle of arcade racers. San Francisco Rush, which I love. Off-Road Thunder, which was fun. Another Rush game. Hydro Thunder, which I loved on the Dreamcast and in the arcade. So this was a great collection. If you're an arcadey Midway racing fan, you gotta have it. My favorite racing game series of all time, the Burnout series. These are both amazing games. Love the crash physics. I love the mode where you just had to crash your car into busy traffic to see how much damage you could accumulate monetary wise. Amazing games. This is Sega GT, but I didn't get it because of this. I got it because it came with Jet Set Radio Future. Came with 2 games on this one disc. This is an RTS, which was amazing. I love crossovers. I love the Alien franchise. I love the Predator franchise. So I think I played the Alien versus... Yeah, I have Alien versus Predator for Super Nintendo, but I just love these 2 crossing over. This was an amazing RTS. You can be Marines, you can be aliens, and you can be Predators. 3 different stories. Now, I've said it in all my videos. I'm not a first-person shooter fan. The reason why I have these 2 games in my collection, these are the 2 most disappointing games that have been hyped up by the developers, to me. So Black was touted as the first-person shooter where you could go around, you could shoot through anything, everything would be destructible, every single environment, any door, any building, anything. And then I get the game and put it in, tried to shoot down a wall like they said, and you couldn't. You couldn't shoot through a locked door, you couldn't do anything. Huge disappointment of a game. What a piece of crap. This. I love RPGs. So the creator of this was in every interview and every magazine saying, look, this game is going to be RPG. You live your life, start as a kid. You get to do whatever you want. Go around to a village. You can slap a woman on her ass if you want. You can just take anything you want, do whatever you want, no consequences. You live in this world. Everything's possible. No hindrances. Turn out to be a huge lie. You go around, there's invisible walls. You can't go into anybody's house and do whatever you want. You can't really choose the adventure and grow the way they promise. It was a piece of crap game. I love SNK. I love the Metal Slug series. This game was epic. It's a 2D side shooting, scrolling game. Very violent and bloody. Animated. Love it. I'm a huge fan of Virtual Tennis and Mario Tennis. So I decided to try this on the Xbox. It was okay. Not even close to as good Virtual Tennis is, but it was pretty good. Being the huge N64 wrestling fan I was for those games and wrestling at the time, I looking for a game to be as good as those, and this one was, in my opinion. I thought this one did good. I mean, the wrestling mechanics were kind of like the N64 ones. They're the closest you could get, and you can create a character, and because the Xbox had your music on there, you could have your own music when they'd come in as the intro down the ramp. So I really like this game. I'm a huge Sega fan, huge Sonic fan, so I decided to get Sonic Heroes. This is the worst Sonic game I ever played in my life. Horrible mechanics, horrible camera angles, dumb gimmick of 3 characters at once. Horrible game. This was a graphical juggernaut when it came out. It's an on-rail shooter. Panzer Dragoon Orta, next in the series of Panzer Dragoon games. I loved it. I mean, this was fun to play, beautiful to look at. Shenmue 2 was supposed to come out for Dreamcast in America, but it didn't because the Dreamcast failed, but it came out in Japan. But you couldn't save your stuff to it, to the VMU, so I didn't get it. So I ended up getting this version. I tried to play it. I couldn't play it all the way through. I was just disappointed I lost all my saves from the Dreamcast, so that's the main reason. I was a crybaby that I didn't finish the game. This was a fun 3D platforming game. iNinja, cartoony graphics, cool gameplay mechanics. I really liked it. This was an award-winning game when it came out. Got nothing but high scores, and I think the voice actor from Invader Zim was in it, which was cool, but I didn't really like it. One of the best games on N64 was remade for the Xbox, and it was amazing. The graphics were great. Gameplay seemed smoother. Loved it to death. Along with Echo the Dolphin, even though I feel Echo the Dolphin's harder, this is one of the hardest games I ever beat in my life. I was proud of myself when I beat this. I was able to do it without a strategy guide. Just my own skill. Amazing graphics. I love this game. Destroy All Humans. This was a fun game. You got to play as an alien and abduct cows and whatever. You got like a gravity gun or something and mess people up. I beat this game. Loved it. Simpsons Hit and Run. This was like a Grand Theft Auto or something for The Simpsons. Really good graphics. Great voice acting. Great gameplay. Loved it. I was never a PC gamer, so I missed out on all these. So when I seen this came out for the Xbox, had to get it. It's just a perverted adult game with a bunch of mini games in it, which rip off old games, but the perverted versions. Really fun, funny, juvenile stuff. I originally got this Nosebleeder for the perversions of it, but actually played it a lot and ended up enjoying it. This game was pretty deep. The volleyball mechanics are really good. You got to unlock new outfits. You got to go gamble at the casino. It was an amazing game. That's it for my Xbox collection. Thanks for watching.